Your next number up tonight is 53. That's followed by 6, and we're going to round it out tonight with 69. Now,
hey humans, it's Hannah. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another Debunk Paranormal and Scary TikToks with me. These are some of my favorite videos to film. I have so much fun writing these. I have so much fun watching all the TikToks and going through them. And let's face it, I take great pleasure in being like, yeah, no, that's fake. I have some really juicy and really viral TikToks to go over with you today and to debunk. This video is supported by a sponsor, so we are going to roll to that, but I'll be right back with you guys. As you guys know, all we do on this channel is talk about creepy and disturbing things. Well, let me tell you about the creepiest and most disturbing thing of all. Hackers stealing your personal information. Does anyone else feel like there's just been a terrifying, huge hacking event like every other day recently? Just in August, a few weeks ago, there was a massive breach where hackers may have stolen every American social security numbers. Not only their social security numbers, but their phone numbers, their date of births, and their full names. So National Public Data is the company that is used for employers to do background checks on people before they hire them. And, you know, people like that need to do background checks. And the National Public Data Company is the one that was hacked. Over 2.9 billion records were stolen. We are just all more vulnerable than ever before in this day and age, but thankfully I don't have to worry about it because I use today's sponsor, which is Aura. Aura monitors your personal data, including your social security number, across billions of data points like the dark web and public court records to detect and alert you to potential identity theft. They give you up to $5 million in identity theft insurance should the worst case scenario happen. They also provide you a bunch of other features to keep you safe online, all inside one convenient app. I highly recommend that every single one of you signs up for Aura today because the National Public Data Company, like, let's just be honest, they're not going to do anything to help you for leaking your social security number. And while we're being honest, they're probably not going to get in any trouble either. You can go to my link, aura.com/HannahTheHorrible to try 14 days for free. That will be plenty of time for Aura to find out if your personal information specifically has been exposed. That's aura.com/HannahTheHorrible, or go right below this video, top of the description. The link will be right there as well. Thank you so much to Aura for sponsoring today's video. Now let's watch some TikToks. Okay, as always, quick blanket disclaimer, no hate to any of the creators. I do shout them out to give them credit for the videos throughout the video. However, absolutely no shade, no hate to them. It's just lighthearted paranormal fun, so let's all keep it that way. Okay, let's get into TikTok 1, which is by the account Men in Black Revelations, except Revelations is spelled in Spanish, and I can't say Spanish very well. So this claims to be a video of a humanoid creature that was caught on camera in Mexico. It's pretty creepy and actually pretty convincing as the dogs are freaking out and following this thing around. Okay, so other than the very annoying background noise, which I'll probably have to cut out of the video anyway for copyright reasons, this one I will admit is a little creepy and did kind of make me do a double take at first when I saw it the first time. It does kind of look like a ghost, and honestly, the dogs are probably the most convincing part. They're the ones that are following this thing around and they look scared and they're like, what is that and everything, which makes this video pretty convincing. The dogs also reinforce that this video is probably not edited because they're following this thing around in what looks like real time. However, most people believe, and I agree with them, that this is most likely just a Mylar balloon. You know, those metallic looking balloons that you get for people's birthdays and special occasions that you have to go to the special part of the store because they will fill them with helium for you. This is likely just a balloon that escaped from a children's party or something like that, and it was probably a few days old, so the balloon was low on helium, which is why it's still floating, but floating really close to the ground. And then it was probably a breeze that was making it move around. Then a security camera happened to pick it up, and because the video is so grainy, it then looks like a ghost. As for the dogs following this thing around, I mean, that makes perfect sense with the Mylar balloon too, right? Winnie is a pretty jumpy dog. If she sees a balloon or anything that she construes as floating, a balloon broken in the trees, a balloon by somebody's house, anything, she freaks the hell out. She cannot calm down until she has investigated and thoroughly smelled that thing to make sure that it is not alive. I would venture to say that a lot of dogs react to balloons like this. It's not something normally in their environment. It moves weird, it looks weird, it reflects weird. Their sight is not as good as ours to begin with. So imagine how that would look to a dog, especially because the balloon would also be a lot bigger to the dog than it would to us. So I'm sure the dogs in the video were doing just that. They were just making sure that this thing was not a threat, which is why they were trying to go up to it and figure out what it was. Okay, this next one I got tagged in quite a bit. This one is from Audrey, or Chicken Nugget Life 8806 on TikTok, and this one's actually not paranormal. This one is, as far as we know, 1000% real. Hi, editing Hannah here. So unfortunately, this first clip of hers that went actually the most viral one, got copyright claimed. So I am not going to include it in the video. However, I will give you a brief synopsis of what she's talking about. She is just talking about how she thinks that when they moved, they might have moved into a murder house because when they were ripping up the flooring for renovations in one of the rooms, there was just what looked like blood everywhere. And she specified that it was most likely not paint as much as she wished that it was, because paint does not sink through the floor and stick like that. So that's really all you need to know. I will show you other clips from her here in a moment that did not get claimed by some third-party media company stealing people's content. Okay, back to me. And then here's just a quick update clip to, again, prove that this is real.
As you can see, this is the room that I did the video in, and here is an officer sitting in there. The only thing different that y'all may notice is there's a chunk of my wall missing from the plumber last night. So the officer told me that there has been no calls to this address before for anything suspicious that would result in this amount of blood. And he also told me that the peroxide I had was 3% and not 6%, and apparently that makes a difference. So after he looked at it, he has questions too. So y'all, this is my real life. This is a house I just bought. None of this was for clout. They are apparently calling some people in to come do some more tests. I guess. I don't know. Everybody that's telling me to move out in this economy, I just dumped all my money into this house. So if it's a schmurder house, if they don't tell me I have to move out, my ass is gonna be here. So there's that. But yeah, none of it was fake. Here's the cop, and I will give y'all what updates I can give when I can, if they tell me I can. Also, my thought process is kind of all over the place. So if I didn't already say this, they are calling in other people to come do some tests. And he told me to tell the plumber not to come back at this moment, to stay out of the room. And he is out in the car making phone calls. So that's where we're at.
Okay, so those are the two videos that went viral and got a lot of views. She did actually post an update, though, that a lot of people didn't see. It didn't have as many views. So as you saw, she, of course, got the police involved. They investigated, they took samples and tested the blood. The police actually came back and let her know that it was not human blood, that they tested it and it was not human, so it must have been some kind of animal blood. She does explain in this update as well that the man who lived there before they did apparently apparently had a government job, and he apparently had quite a few animals in there that he was not taking good care of. Like, there was allegedly a bunch of feces and urine all over the house as well. And then this man allegedly, again, she said she got all this info from the neighbors, so I guess take that with a grain of salt. But the man then allegedly met a woman online who lived in Africa, and they got engaged, and he went over to live with her in Africa. So this was not human blood, but given the backstory, this still, of course, raises a lot of questions for many people, even though thankfully no human seemed to have been murdered in this house. To be fair, the police are still apparently investigating and have told her not to change the room or go in there or anything like that because of that. She did also clarify that the reason they didn't see it when they moved in is because it looked normal. The flooring was there. This was all underneath the tile flooring that was there when they moved in. So they took out the flooring because they were in the process of renovating the house, and that's when they found this. So the questions we still have, though, is that the previous owner was a government job. Then when he moved out of the country to Africa, like as far away as he could get. And then there was a bunch of blood that looked like it was hidden in the house. Like, that still seems weird. Of course, some people suggested that maybe the cops were lying and maybe they just told her that to make her feel better and they were actually doing other investigations. I personally doubt that. I don't know why they would lie to her about that. If it was human, they'd probably just tell her that it was human and that she would therefore have to move at least for a while. I personally think that if the man was a little funny and he had animals that he was neglecting in there, perhaps one of the animals got in a fight with one of the others, like maybe one of the dogs attacked a cat or something and killed it in that room. And that's how that happened. Eek. And maybe it was some kind of like really, maybe not hoarding situation, but he wasn't taking good care of the house, so he didn't bother cleaning it up. Or perhaps he was a hunter and he butchered one of the animals that he hunted in that room or something, and again, did not clean it up for whatever reason. I don't know. That's speculation. It all sounds very bizarre. He sounded like a very bizarre dude. Not sure if we'll ever know, because not sure if the police are going to tell her anything to give us updates. Okay, TikTok number 3 is from Lizzie Ann, and this is a cool weather phenomenon. You know, we can't do a TikTok video without a cool weather phenomenon. So here's that one.
Okay, so my son and I are driving, and this is what we see in the sky. Like, look at those colors. That is so bright. Like, there's nothing else around. I don't know where it came from, but it's so bright in colors. So cool.
Okay, how cool would it be to witness something like that? Like, it looks like Lisa Frank threw up in that spot in the sky. It's so cool. I would love to see something like that. This is a phenomenon often referred to as a fire rainbow, even though ironically it has nothing to do with fires and it's not technically a traditional rainbow. The more scientific name for this is a circumhorizontal arc. It is very, very rare, and it's a type of ice halo that can only occur when the sun is high enough to refract light on ice crystals in the atmosphere. Do I know what any of that means? No, not really, but it's super cool. And Lizzie was very, very lucky to get to witness it. I love how it's kind of in like a section. It looks like a cookie cutter that somebody planted in the sky and then put rainbow inside the cookie cutter. It was really cool. This next one is from the account Jamie Wellahan 2020. This is a haunted doll thing that a lot of people wanted me to debunk. Unfortunately, there's just not enough information or evidence to fully debunk it. However, I am going to offer a few plausible explanations. So let's watch that one. So initially, some people suggested that it was reading her pulse because she was touching the doll, like on the head and touching the doll. And maybe it was sensing the human pulse through the doll or something like that, which I guess is possible, but I doubt it. Oh, I'm sorry. If you guys don't know what the device is, it's a pulse oximeter. It measures oxygen levels in your blood. And a doll should not, it should be an error message or 0. Like there shouldn't be a reading for a doll. So then she shows us another video of her to prove that it's not happening on a different doll. So she puts it on a different doll. So watch this video. So it's obviously not reading the person's pulse vibrations through the doll because she was straight up holding that doll's hand while doing this and it came up with nothing. My biggest bet here, and I'm sorry to disappoint a lot of people that were hoping that this was real, but my biggest bet is that she's probably not like outright faking this on purpose, but I would bet that this is a defective pulse ox. It's not the first time that this has happened. In fact, I found a news clip with almost the exact same phenomenon happening. Here's that.
Pulse oximeters can help you monitor your health and prevent silent hypoxia, a symptom of COVID. Mr. Zhan was outraged when the oximeters he bought online found a pulse and blood oxygen reading for his daughter's cuddly sheep. I wondered if it was possessed by a ghost, he said.
I bought 3 oximeters and tested them all on the stuffed animal, and all 3 gave readings. I looked in the packaging and it had a user manual and a quality certificate. It's so preposterous.
We tested the same Chinese-built device for ourselves. Absolutely everything that we could clip it to, including hands, toys, even wallets, gave a reading. Then we compared it to a made-in-Taiwan oximeter bought in a pharmacy. We clipped one onto each of the sheep's ears. The Taiwan device gave no results and no blood pressure reading. The fake gadget first proclaimed blood oxygen at 98% and then started rising.
Now, I know what you're thinking. In that particular news clip, the pulse oximeter was actually working on all the inanimate objects except for humans, basically. Like it was working on wallets and pretty much anything they put it on. So it's very defective and therefore a public safety hazard, you know, because people depend on these devices. And I know that in Jamie's video, I know that it was working on the doll and nothing else. So I know it's a little different, but I would implore Jamie, if she really does think this doll is haunted, I would implore Jamie to try this on a lot of other things, not just a random doll. Try it on herself, on her kids, on her spouse, and then on also, you know, a wallet, and like try at least 5 or 10 other dolls. If I were her, I would also buy another pulse oximeter from another manufacturer, from another brand, hopefully a different country of origin. And as we saw in that news clip, that defective one was made in China, I believe. And I would try one from a different manufacturer or different country of origin with a lot of really good reviews. And then I would test that as well and see if it still only has a pulse on that one doll and not any other dolls, because I would bet you a lot of money that a different pulse ox would not work on the haunted doll or any other dolls for that matter. Like, expand the experiment a little bit, you know what I mean? If she had a different device, not this particular device, and it still shows a pulse on this doll and no other dolls, then we can talk about that doll being haunted. Here's one more clip that she posted that is another like haunted proof of a doll that doesn't have to do with the pulse ox that I want to show you.
People think I'm obsessed with this, but I'm okay with it. I am obsessed with it.
So if you noticed in that clip, the doll's arm moves just a little bit, which was freaking a lot of people out. Like, not only does this doll have a pulse, but now this doll is moving. I will admit that is creepy, but again, I am skeptical of this as well. The arm that moves in the video is the one with something attached to it, and I just think that maybe her arm, the doll's arm, was kind of up in a way that the pulse ox was weighing it down, and so it shifted because there was something attached to the doll, because no other part of the doll moved. The only part of the doll moved was when there was something like clamped onto it. You know what I mean? So I'm just very skeptical that that was anything other than that the pulse ox kind of moving the arm a little bit. The next one we're going to watch is from an account called Ajaba. I'm probably saying that wrong. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm really sorry. and then BA as a separate word.
So is no one talking about how the couple that was climbing a mountain in Colorado caught a 20-foot fucking creature on camera by accident? This creature is something straight out of a nightmare, and I find it very crazy that everyone's being completely silent about it. The way that this figure is on the side of this mountain is some very unscrupulous shit, and I need to figure out what the fuck is going on in Colorado. Something tells me these two women weren't just climbing a mountain. They went up there and did some shit. Maybe a ritual, I don't know. But they definitely let something out on their way home. So these are the two women that said they went home and viewed the images from their trip and saw an uncanny fucking figure scoping the side of a Colorado mountain somewhere in the area. By the way, the scenery is fucking beautiful. So this is the photo that shows that 20-foot creature scaling the side of a mountain like it has professional motherfucking climbing skills. Excuse my language, but this shit is so scary. If you look at that small circle before I enhance it, that's what they say the 20-foot creature is. What the fuck is that? Can somebody tell me what the fuck this is? Whose uncle is this? Why is it climbing the side of a mountain, bro? So basically, these ladies said they set off on the Intrepid Walk at 2 a.m. in order to conquer the 14,000-foot crag by dusk the next day. They had been walking for 7 hours, and when they snapped the figure just after scaling the peak at around 9 a.m., she said, "We were in full adrenaline mode, so we weren't really paying attention." And these people were graphic designers, and they explained that while they were showing the photographs with the family on a plasma screen TV, they first noticed this creature, and then they called the Rangers. Don't be going in on mountains. I have an idea what I think it is, but I'm gonna save that for part 2. Because you know giants and shit climbing the side of the mountains is my specialty.
First of all, I know we're all thinking it. Is that woman a Disney princess? Because she might be the prettiest person I've ever seen in my life. Oh my God. She's so pretty. She literally looks like she's right out of a movie. Okay. Anyway, second of all, a lot of people were pointing out that, and she mentioned this in the video, that the woman who took the photo, one of the women, was a graphic designer. And so that makes a lot of people a little suspicious that maybe she photoshopped this picture to make it look like that. But the woman who took the picture does have a video with her friend that she was with on that trip. And this was her response to that accusation.
So I want to address some allegations about Photoshop because I am a graphic designer. Y'all, I don't have time for that shit. Sorry. That is not Photoshop. That is 100% real. I have the original photo. I'll repost it again.
That honestly sounds like a response from somebody who did Photoshop a picture but was trying to deny it. Like, that sounds like the response of what somebody would say when they're trying to deny something and straight up lie. But, you know, who knows? Regardless of that, even if this is not Photoshop, this is a 100% real, genuine photo. This was taken in Colorado in the Rocky Mountains, by the way. It still doesn't look like a creature to me. This looks like a classic case of the pareidolia effect. Many other commenters agree with me on that. And this is very, very likely simply just the rock formation, and there's likely snow, or the lighting is making it so that lighter part of the rocks look like that, like it's a lighting thing, or it's snow on the mountain that is displayed on this rock just so to kind of make it look like somebody climbing up the mountain. If you look at the photo with the lens of it not being a cryptid or a giant, and just looking at it with the lens of it possibly just being a pattern in the mountain that you're making into a humanoid creature in your head, if you look at it through that lens, it certainly looks like just a mountain formation to me. Okay, we're halfway through our TikToks. I want to take 20 seconds from you guys just to shout out my merch. If you haven't seen it yet, we have so many different styles, cuts, colors, and there's 4 different versions of the design that you can pick from. The tie-dyes have been selling like absolute hotcakes. You guys seem to love those, and the link if you want to pick up your own will be below this video. So okay, let's get back into it. Okay, TikTok number 6. Are you guys ready for this? There's a guy on TikTok. I don't know if you guys have seen this guy, but there's a guy on TikTok. It's Jimmy Official, and he is trying to convince everybody and their mother that he's an actual time traveler and that he can prove it. He literally shows us videos of him going to like Taco Bell from 1984 and back into the 1880s and stuff like that. Like, he shows video footage of him supposedly there. It is so funny. We're gonna talk about it for a few minutes because I cannot tell if this guy is trolling or not, and I would love your input. Okay, so here's the first video I want to show you. I can't. I can't with this guy. Get ready to laugh your butt off. I cannot.
Guys, I am here in 1984. As you can see behind me, there's Taco Bell. Not lying. Look at this, 1984, guys, Taco Bell. Let me show you something else, guys. If that's not enough proof, let me show you something. 1984, guys. Behind me is Jack in the Box. Check out this Jack in the Box. This is gonna blow your freaking mind. Look at that. Jack in the Box in 1984, guys. I mean, how could you deny this proof? It's clearly right there. Look at that. Jack in a Box.
Okay, J Station. You guys, look at this.
Hey, I actually got it, guys. Guys, we gotta go back inside right now. Ordered everything possible from the dark web, guys. Dark web Christmas presents, guys. Guess what, guys? It finally showed up, guys.
Okay. Conveniently, he won't show us. He only shows us the sign. Conveniently, he won't show us the cars in the background to see if they're 1980s looking cars. He won't show us the people in the Taco Bell or the Jack in the Box working. I want to see those 1984 uniforms. I want to see those people from the 80s in their 1980s uniforms talking to you and taking your order. I want to see the menu. I want to see a receipt. That's what I want to see. I want to see a receipt with the date on it. Will he post that? Absolutely he won't. Now, thankfully, my faith in humanity has been restored because the vast majority of comments in this guy's comment sections are calling cap on this, and they're like, no. Like, at least most people. However, I did get tagged, and there are some people that are concerned. I also thought this was just entertaining as hell, so I thought I would add this in. Yeah, I can confidently tell you that he is gaslighting you all and that this is not real. I don't know why he's doing this, but let's watch a few more videos. So there's a Radio Shack video very similar to the Taco Bell video, and people are pointing out in the comments that he's in Mexico. That's why there's a payphone and really, really retro looking buildings, because in some parts of Mexico, you can find buildings that haven't been renovated. Okay, now let's watch a couple that he uses to prove that he's not lying. So this is a lottery one. He's gonna pick the winning Powerball numbers. I'm giddy.
Let's see if this works. Sometimes the timeline shifts. This one's the best video I've ever made. I'm gonna step up my game on this one for sure. Check this out, guys.
Amount of $84 million. Get your tickets out. We'll start things off tonight with the number 5. Right after that, America, we have 36. Let's congratulate Zach Norenberg of Fremont, Nebraska, who won $1 million playing Powerball. Your next number up tonight is 53. That's followed by 6, and we're going to round it out tonight with 69. Now for your winning Powerball number, good luck everyone. It is 8, and your Power Play multiplier is 2.
There it is, guys.
Look at those winning numbers.
So I won't be able to keep any of this money because they'll take away my time travel credits, and I need those to travel. So I'll have to go back in time and undo this whole thing. But how do you deny this proof? I mean, come on, look it's right here.
Jimmy, are you memeing? Be honest.
Abby, tell the truth. Are you memeing? You can't be serious.
Be honest. You're memeing, right? Oh my God. Okay, so if you didn't catch it, first of all, classic. That is iconic. I can't keep any of my winnings because I'll lose my time traveling credits. And then, okay, so if you missed it in the video though, you can see the stamp on the top of the ticket. It says 9/16/25. 2024. So he got that on September 16th, and he tries really hard to cover it, but fails miserably to cover the date on the TV that clearly says right there, June 2024. So it's just a recording of an old Powerball announcement, and he bought the ticket afterwards to match the winning. I can't. I think this guy's trolling. I think he is. He's gotta be. He's being very serious. He's acting like he's offended when people don't believe him, but I think he's trolling because nobody does this and does that blatant of mistakes and then still like doubles down on it. Okay, we're gonna watch a couple more from this guy because I'm having so much fun. Okay, here's a good one.
For those of you who still do not believe that I'm a time traveler, this is going to be absolute proof that I am. I'm about to prove to you that I've already lived this day and I could pretty much predict everything that's about to happen. Let me show you. White truck, white car. Gray car, white car. Blue car, gray car. Blue SUV, white truck.
He was or is Jim Carrey official, so maybe he's a big fan of Jim Carrey, and that's why of the celebrity Jim Carrey as well. I don't know, that could be his normal name too. But anyway, okay. So obviously you could very easily fake that. You would just take a video for a few seconds of cars going by, and then you would review your clip, write down all the cars in order and have that on a piece of paper right next to you. And then you would show the clip of the cars with the voiceover of what's coming next. People do this on Instagram all the time. They're voicing over what they're doing in a day and everything because it already happened. So this would be so easy to fake as just a voiceover. Okay, here's one more I really want to show you guys because this one is so funny. And then I'll stop, I promise.
I'm in Western times. Let me show you something. Guys, I'm here in 1885 in a little town called Los Angeles before it became what it is today. This is by Hollywood, guys. I mean, come on, how do you deny this proof? I mean, I'm clearly showing you the evidence. I'm in LA right now, guys. This is the hotel I'm staying in. That's the room that me and my Western wife are staying in. Those are her clothes. We're going to be staying here for the night. Guys, I mean, how could you deny this proof? This is where I keep my money. This is the bank. I've kept money with them before. Guys, some of the locals, the sheriff. I mean, how do you deny this proof, guys? It's literally in your face. I mean, I record all this with my hidden camera. Then I bring back the footage so you guys can see it. This is me talking over the video, but guys, there's the church. Evidence, guys.
Evidence, guy. He's seriously emulating J Station. What is that?
Something very crazy for you guys.
Obviously, I forget what that place was. Somebody was saying it's a place in Arizona that is just a little old-timey town. Like it's a tourist attraction, right? Like they still have those. That's why all the workers there are dressed up like that and everything. So that's all he went. But like, why is it black and white, bro? Like, why would he? Your camera would be in color, you know. That makes no sense. You know he only had to make it black and white because he put in a couple clips of old-timey footage, like probably actually from that or something simulating the late 1800s. And you know that he had to clip that in. So in order for it to look natural, he had to make the whole thing black and white. It's so funny. It's so ridiculous. I don't know why this tickles me so much, but as we know, this is also fake because if it were real, first of all, why can't he show us any other evidence? If this was real, why couldn't he show us a receipt? Why couldn't he show us him ordering something at Taco Bell from 1980s, you know? Why couldn't he go to, a lot of people were saying like, okay, go to 9/11, 2001 and in New York and show us 9/11 happening in real time and you actually there. Show us another like giant historical event to act. There's so many ways he could actually prove this and he's not. I feel stupid even explaining that to you guys because you guys I think most people know that this is totally fake. I just died because I can't tell if he's trolling or not, or if he's actually serious and trying to convince us of this, and he actually thinks people are stupid, or if he just is convincing because he knows it's getting a lot of views and he doesn't care, which is whatever. I think because it's so obvious that it's fake, I have no issues with it, but I'm just, oh my God. Please tell me what you guys think of that guy in the comments, but I would just love to know if he's being serious. This next account is hidden on Google Earth, although this is a repost. I don't think this is their video. So I think the vast majority of you guys know that this is fake right off the bat. But in the land of TikTok, where a lot of people are children and teens, let's face it, there were a lot of people that were believing this, especially because a lot of people were claiming that they went to Google Earth and actually found this exact image themselves. I tried to find it on Google Earth. He is off the Gushan, I'm sure I'm saying that wrong, the Gushan Island in Taiwan. I could not find it on Google Earth. Maybe others did. Now, to me, this doesn't even look remotely real. It looks like a drawing. It looks like an art piece. And I was correct. This was made by an artist called Play 3D. You can find them there on TikTok or on Instagram. It says right in his bio on Instagram that he's an artist, but if you take the next line in his bio, and it is in Chinese, probably Mandarin, I think. If you put that into Google Translate, it says he is a virtual street view artist. So this is what he does. He creates cool stuff on Google Earth and adds stuff on Google Earth and adds little Easter eggs for people to find. I don't know how he does that. I don't know if he has to submit them to Google Earth and they put it in there. I doubt it. I would imagine that he is somehow doing this and then taking videos of it for, you know, for his own art's sake. And then I would imagine that once Google realizes it's there, they go and delete it, which would explain why some people can find it, but then other people later when they go to look, it's not there anymore. That's what I'm guessing is going on here. I'm pretty sure that is what he's doing, is adding Easter eggs randomly on Google Earth somehow, and then when Google finds out, that's when they go and delete it. It is really cool though. Like, how fun would that be to be on Google Earth and come across something like that and then just be like, WTF. Okay, TikTok number 8 for today is from Amusing Angelina, and low key, I actually kind of think this might be genuine ghost proof. I don't know. Regardless, even if it's not, I really like this one. So I'd be really curious to know your guys' thoughts.
There's a ghost singing out here. I'm not even kidding you. Come here. Come here. Just sit out here. Just sit there. It sounds sounds like it's coming right next door, and it's not. Nobody's there. I looked. Just sit down. It'll happen. Are you glad I woke you up? What? Are you glad I woke you up? You would want me to, right? Where is it? It's supposedly coming from over there, but it stops and comes and goes. So you'll hear it. Just sit and listen. Oh my gosh, this is so good.
Okay, listen, I've watched hundreds and hundreds of TikTok ghost videos by now, and I would like to, not to toot my own horn, but I would like to think that I can tell when someone's being genuine or not. Obviously, some people can be really, really, really good actors and can totally convince even somebody like me. But for the most part, I do like to think that I can kind of tell if someone is genuinely frightened or not by now, and I feel like this might be genuine, at least a genuine reaction. Not saying that this is real, but I do feel like she really believed it and really heard it in that moment. She's really freaked out, but really excited, which I feel like that's exactly how I would react. The Crescent Hotel is supposedly a very, very haunted hotel. Some would say the most haunted in America. It's located in Eureka Springs in Arkansas. A lot of people have claimed to have experiences there. As you saw in the video, she of course showed us where she felt like it was coming from, and there was no one there. And it didn't really sound like a post-added edit to me either. I feel like that would be very, very difficult to do, because if you think about it, she would have had to act all that out with her daughter and with no sound there, and then added the sound in post edits, which just would have been kind of difficult, I think. So I don't think this is edited either. However, I can think of a couple explanations for this that maybe are not paranormal. So first of all, there is the obvious one that perhaps it's in a acoustics thing where there is a cleaner in another adjacent room or downstairs, and the way that the building is set up and the acoustics are make it so that somebody humming would travel really far, and that's what they're hearing even though they can't see anybody in the immediate area. So that's one possibility. The other possibility is that I'm very suspicious of haunted locations. I really want to go there and experience them for myself, mind you, but I am like for these really notorious haunted hotels and places where the whole the whole point of the hotel, the whole reason people go there is because they want a haunted experience or they want to stay in a haunted hotel. I feel like perhaps in some of those places, the front desk, the staff that work there might kind of create some of these experiences for the guests, if that makes sense. So I have my suspicions that in some hotels, the front desk or the staff and other places in the hotel can control some of the rooms, like water and lights, remotely. That would just make sense to me, that they would then make the lights flicker sometimes, or turn the faucet on and off, or perhaps knock on somebody's door and then run away really quickly. And I just kind of wonder if the staff kind of have fun messing with the guests at these haunted places because they are trying to make the experience more fun, and it's good for the hotel. You know, the more people that have those experiences, they're going to then go write a review saying what happened, and then it's going to make more people want to stay there to get an experience as well. So I do kind of just like, I know it's probably far-fetched, but like, what if in her room or in some of the rooms, there's a recording device that's hidden very, very carefully on the deck, on the porch, and it is timed to go off every time, you know, in the morning, like every so often. They don't do it every day, but they do it like once a week or something like that, so that the guests, like there's a lot of guests that will randomly hear that. You know what I mean? Of course, I have no proof of that, but it just wouldn't surprise me if they did that. But both of those explanations do not take away from the fact that I don't think this woman is lying. I think this is a genuine experience, whether it was real or not. Okay, this next TikTok is from this account. I don't know it's not really a name. It seems like a random anonymous user, but I got tagged in it so much. So if you missed the point of that video, like I did the first time I watched it, I had to watch it like a couple dozen times before I got it, but also read a lot of comments for other people that were confused and got answers. And the whole point is that the reflection of the dog, of the picture of the dog in the mirror, kind of looks like the dog has no eyes and that it's screaming. Like it looks like its mouth is open and that it might be, you know, screaming, which, you know, mirrors are notoriously haunted and make people feel like they can trap people's souls, or dog souls in this case. And then when it goes over to the dog on the wall, it looks normal. I guess for me, I still don't really get this one personally. It looks like a lighting and angle thing to me. So here's a picture of me using paint to draw like where the scream on the dog in the mirror is, and this is where I think the picture in the picture on the wall, I think that it's this like darkened area, like this different shade of fur that's making it look at a certain angle with the lighting, and a far distant reflection in the mirror is making it look like a scream. As for the eyes, I think they're just small, and I think with the reflection and it being so far away and at a weird angle, I think it just makes it look like the eyes kind of disappear. So that's my take on that one. I don't really think it's that weird. I just think it's a weird angle thing. I would be curious to know if that person had other haunted activity in their house, but yeah, I don't really understand why that one's really spooky and super, super viral. So, okay, the last one we're going to watch today is from the account VeggieTales. This has over 25 million views right now, and this is another one I'd be really interested to get your guys' input on.
Te estoy preguntando algo. Eso es lo que mamá se refiere. Te estoy preguntando una pregunta concisa. It's just a yes or no.
Pues sí, sí es jabón. Sí, obviamente el jabón se quita. Sí, sí es jabón. Es un diferente tipo de jabón.
Okay, first of all, I know it's weird that she's just like randomly recording that, but I saw another video from her talking about this incident, and she does explain that she literally just records everything, which I do think, especially in Gen Z, which is what I think she is, somewhere in the younger than a millennial. I think that is common for some, where they just record freaking everything. It's not really the point of the video, but it is something that I asked and a lot of people asked, of like, why were you conveniently recording that? But I don't think that really matters anyway, because you can't control when dogs start to bark typically. So just to address that. But a lot of people are saying that because this is in Mexico, as she says on the video, this is not a good sign in Mexico. The reason she's saying that is because of the legend of La Llorona. A very basic synopsis of the La Llorona urban legend is that there once was a woman who ended up drowning all of her children because she was in a jealous rage after learning that her husband had cheated on her. And so as revenge, she killed all their children. However, after she realized what she had done, she was then stricken with grief and guilt, and so she drowned herself with them. It is said that, especially in Mexico, La Llorona still haunts bodies of water, and sometimes people can hear her wailing. Anyone who encounters her or sees her is said to go on to have extremely bad luck, if not sometimes death. Now, along with that, there is the other rumor that if you hear a lot of dogs barking or howling all at once, that means that La Llorona is nearer. Some people can also hear a very faint wailing in this video, what sounds like somebody crying out. So the girls in the video do seem very, very scared. They even bless themselves with the cross gesture, as one does in Catholic religions, I believe. So you can tell that they're actually scared and freaked out and know exactly what that could mean. It is a very eerie video. However, I have to say that Occam's razor would tell me that this is likely, rather than the ghost of a very terrifying urban legend, that this is likely an animal of some sort that is passing through, that all the dogs in the area are trying to scare away. In my parents' neighborhood, for example, they live in a very more rural area. There are black bears in their neighborhood. We have some like community black bears that wander through every year, as well as we see coyotes sometimes literally right in front of us. But for the black bears especially, the dogs go nuts. When I'm visiting my parents, if the black bear is near, we don't even have to see it, but we'll know it's there because our dogs start freaking out. They can smell those things a mile away without even seeing them. Winnie freaks out. My parents' golden retriever, Tonka, he has a specific bark, a specific sound he makes when he hears the bear and smells the bear and knows that the bear is there. My parents will wake up in the middle of the night and they'll know that it's the bear somewhere close by because the dog will start making a very specific sound. Our old family dog, our dog that passed away years ago before we had Tonka, this dog, he did the exact same thing. He had a very, very specific wail that he reserved for the black bear to scare the black bear off. And before you know it, all the other dogs in the vicinity, all the neighbors' dogs, you can hear them wailing and howling and barking as well, because the dogs are all alerting us that there is a predator in the yards. By the way, the black bears are really not a predator. They have never really bothered anybody other than tipping a few trash cans over, which drives everybody in the neighborhood nuts. But I'm really not kidding. All the dogs, suddenly you'll hear all the dogs in the vicinity within a few blocks, when they can all smell it too, start to howl because they're telling each other and they're telling us. They're alerting, that's what dogs were domesticated to do, was alert the humans when there was danger. And they perceive that as danger, obviously. So to me, that's what this sounds like in particular. I think it just makes the most sense that these were just the dogs in the area that saw some sort of animal. Maybe it was a mountain lion or something like that, something threatening, and they were just letting everybody know and banding together and freaking out. You know what I mean? That just makes more sense. However, let me know what you think. Let me know in the comments if you think it was La Llorona or if it was just some plausible explanation, or if there's another explanation you can think of. Okay, so that was the 10 TikToks. I have one bonus TikTok for you that is just funny and lighthearted that I got tagged in, which I thought was really cute. So here's that one.
Well, you don't know me, but I know you.
There you go. There's your palate cleanser for today. However, I have to say that time traveler guy was our other palate cleanser because that was so funny. That makes me giddy. I don't know why. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget our sponsor, which is Aura today. Don't forget the merch as I showed you. If you're interested in picking one up, go see if there's a design that you like. That'll all be linked right down below this video. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much to all the patrons on the screen right now. And that's it. Okay, goodbye.